Hello and welcome to Working Wednesday. My name is Jennifer Tenney and I'm coming to you live from the Center for Excellence in Disabilities at West Virginia University in Morgantown, West Virginia. Thanks for joining me today. Today I'd like to talk about something that comes up quite a bit as we work with West Virginians with disabilities, and that is self-employment. All throughout these Working Wednesday talks we have been having each month, I have referenced work incentives and how earned income can affect your SSDI and SSI benefits. All of that was determined by work done for someone else. Self-employment is very different and can be quite complicated. It is vitally important if you are self-employed now or looking to start your own business that you contact a CWIC here at the WIPA program soon to really understand how your benefits will be affected by self-employment. For the purposes of today, we are going to reference self-employment as small business ownership. So the beneficiary owns all or part of a business and receives earned income by performing services for that business. There are many other types of self-employment, such as independent contractors, statutory employees such as traveling salespeople, members of the clergy, and farmers. Today, let's just focus on those individual self-employed individuals who are small business owners. Small businesses can assume many forms, and owners can organize themselves under different structures. But to be self-employed, Social Security only considers someone that performs some form of work or service for that business. When considering how income affects those who are self-employed, Social Security does not count gross profits the business generates, but rather the net earnings from self-employment, or NESI. This is completely different from the way Social Security treats gross earned income from wage employment. The difference between net income from a business and NESI is the deduction of the extra Social Security tax that self-employed people pay. Social Security gives self-employed individuals credit for paying the employer's share of the Social Security and Medicare taxes that they pay on themselves, in addition to the part they would normally pay as an employee. Your CWIC can assist you in understanding how to calculate any SE net earnings from self-employment, which is important when determining SGA level work and applying work incentives. Even though we were talking about self-employment, most of the rules for work incentives apply in the same fashion. There are some special work incentives that people who are self-employed are allowed to consider, such as unincurred business expenses and unpaid help, but that will be for another month's talk. Let's quickly review the main work incentives for both SSDI and SSI and how self-employment affects the use of these work incentives. First, we'll go over SSDI. As you remember, workers are entitled to a trial work period and an extended period of eligibility to help them adjust to receiving income while receiving their SSDI and Medicare benefits. The biggest difference between a wage employee and a self-employed person is Social Security looks not only at net earnings from self-employment, but also how many hours the self-employed person spent working the business each month. A trial work period is used if the NESI is over the trial work period amount for 2020, which is $910 a month, or if the individual works more than 80 hours a month in their business, regardless of profit or loss. That's very important to remember. If you are self-employed and receive benefits, it is imperative that you keep track of how many hours you work each month in your business, because Social Security takes that into consideration when determining if a trial month has been used. In addition, 45 hours of work a month in your business will be determined as one way of reaching substantial gainful activity, or SGA, during the extended period of eligibility, even if you do not earn a profit of Ssi. Calculating SGA for a self-employed individual is extremely complex, as Social Security uses different rules dependent on how long you have been eligible for benefits. So please, contact a CWIC if you are self-employed to get a jump start on your benefits calendar. Now on to SSI. The SSI program treats income from self-employment very differently from wages in some important ways. First, if you are starting a new business, Social Security generally estimates the beneficiary's Ssi based on what the individual says they expect their profits to be by the end of the calendar year. After the initial year of business operation, SSA will take the actual annual Ssi from the individual year and divide it equally among 12 months. Ssi is applied across all 12 months, even if the business was seasonal, started mid-year, or started then stopped within the year. Aside from that, there are few exceptions in the way SSI work incentives are applied in self-employment cases. Student earned income exclusion and blind work expenses are applied in the exact same way as someone who has income from wage employment. IRWs are also applied in the same way, although you have to be careful to categorize the expense as either a business expense or an impairment-related work expense. SSI also applies 1619B extended Medicaid provisions in the exact same way. Once Ssi goes over the break-even point for an individual, the individual will cease cash benefit but will remain eligible for SSI under 1619B and keep Medicaid as long as they meet all the other requirements for 1619B. As you can see, self-employment and benefits can be very complicated and tricky. It is so important that you contact the WIPA program here at the Center for Excellence in Disabilities if you are self-employed or plan to become self-employed, so you can figure out how your benefits will be affected by your future plans. The WIPA program can be reached at 304-293-4692. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Working Wednesday. Please join me next month as we continue to talk about work incentives for Social Security beneficiaries. Have a great day.